Oh man, what's up, man? You already know what it is. We make art, we sell art in your face with in your face art, man. So let's talk about this, man. Custom artwork. Custom logos, custom t-shirts, portraits, all that stuff, man. This is what people ask for. You know, as an artist, you're gonna get asked a lot. Hey, could you draw me? Hey, could you do my logo? Hey, could you draw this, and that? There's perks to it, man. If you need some money, if you need some extra dough, doing custom work is a great way to, get some side hustle, some money in. But there's some cool things about it, and there's some not cool things about it. So let's go into the cool things. Let's start with the good news, okay? The good news is that a lot of times, people, I don't know, how can I say this? People care about themselves, okay? People care about themselves. So with that being said, they want to get things made for them. They want something personally made for them, something that is, what's the word? Something that is emotionally, they have an emotional attachment to it. So when they do that, they're going to show it off to everybody. They're going to tell other people, which means you could get other business and things like that. They're going to want to probably even get more work from you in the future, if they really, really like what it is that you did. So, and return customers is pretty good if you do a good job. Telling other people about it, that's pretty good. What else would be good about that, man? And, some pretty good dough here and there, depending on how well, how good you are and, how much money you want to charge, depending on your skill level and all that. But that's about the only good things I can think of when it comes to doing custom art. But when it comes to the negatives, for me, it's just me. Listen, this is all my own personal opinion. But before we go into the negatives, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, all that cool stuff. Okay, how can I put this? So, negatives for me, when somebody wants some custom artwork made, I already know off the top, off the rip, when I draw this picture and I make this sale, that's the only money I'm going to be able to get from this. Because this is personally for that person. This is not a random picture that I'm drawing that I know, hundreds of thousands or millions of people will like to purchase. No, this is for this one person for this one time. So let me give you an example. If I take, let's say 6 to 8 hours to draw this piece, right? I took 6 to 8 hours to draw this picture. When I sell it to this person and I get paid for it, that's all the money I'm going to get from that picture. That's it. There's no more income coming from this picture because I already sold it. So, but if I draw a picture that is not custom just to this one person, that is something that everybody can purchase, and I spent 8 hours on it, well, I can sell this one picture forever. I can just continue to sell it over and over and over. So the amount of money I can make from this is endless. When you're doing personalization or doing something custom, like somebody's logo, somebody's name, their mom, their dad, their family, their dog, their cat, whatever. If it's customized personally to that person, then that's all the money you're going to make from it. That's why I said it's good for a little hustle if you need some dough here and there. But for a long term, for my lifestyle, for the way that I want to live my life, is just not feasible because, the amount of money I want to make and the things that I want to do, I would continuously have to sit down. Anytime I had an order come in, I know I got to sit down and I got to put in that work for that particular order. And that's just something I just don't want to do, right? I like to be able to make a product that could continue selling without me having to keep drawing it over and over again. And kind of like even with my children's books. Working on my children's books is another reason why, even when it comes to not doing custom work, is because I can make this one book and they just keep selling it to all the people out there that wants to purchase it. So that's one thing. Now, two, another thing that can be kind of difficult when it comes to, doing custom work, logos, and all that stuff is just the simple fact of people not knowing what it is that they want, man. You know, you got a lot of people who are excited about getting the work. You know, they want to get something custom. They want to get something made, but they don't always know what they want, man. And that can be frustrating. It really can. You know, they'll tell you, hey, you're the artist, you know, you should know. And I'm like, dude, you're the one that got to wear this. You're the one that's going to hang this in your house. You're the one. I need to know all the details. What's the color scheme? You know, how do you want the letters? There's a lot of things that you may want to know as an artist. And sometimes now some people will give you free range. I love that. When somebody say, hey, look, I want this, just do your thing. That's one thing. But you'll have somebody call you literally 30 minutes, maybe an hour after they already, said that they wanted some work done. And hey, can you adjust this? Oh yeah, I forgot about this. And there's a lot of back and forth. You know, this isn't your creation per se. You're helping to bring it to life, but you got to listen to what somebody else want. And sometimes they may want you to draw something you just don't have any interest in drawing. You know, that happens a lot with me, you know, personally. There's a lot of things people want me to draw that I just don't personally want to draw. But, you know, that's why if you're doing it for the money, it's like, man, it sucks when you have to do it for the money because it's almost like having a job. You know, you're doing something you really don't want to do. That's why I only take on certain projects. I used to do like portraits, realism, super dope shading, hair, all like making it really look dope, logos, all that. But I found myself just not liking the work, you know, because then what if you do something and then the person, can you change this? Can you change that? Man, I'm not going through all that. You know, I'd rather make something that I like, that I think is dope, and I find like-minded people who like the same thing and sell it to them. You know, another thing about logos that could be kind of aggravating. Oh, pricing. I tell this to a lot of people all the time, man. Look, I used to do the I rarely ever did that, but yeah, first, you don't ever want to just do the artwork, then get paid later. Heck, you know, that is an absolutely no. Okay, absolutely not. Number 2, I'll pay half up front and then half later. No, it's not how this works. Okay, you're going to pay the full price and then you get the work. That's just the way it's going to go. Now, you can run your business how you want to run it, but that's the way I like to run my business. I like to get everything up front and then we get to work done. Another thing that you can do that can be kind of annoying when it comes to doing custom work is revisions. Well, what is a revision? A revision is basically when you draw something and somebody wants you to make certain changes to what it is that you drew, right? They might want you to change the color of the shoes. They might want you to make the short sleeve, long sleeve. They might want you to add a tattoo or something. There's something about the picture that they want to add or take away, or change. So with that being said, you need to put in a revisions clause, meaning, okay, you know what? You have 2, maybe 3 revisions, for this picture. And if you go over this, then I'm going to have to charge you more. You see what I'm saying? So you can add little things and little caveats in there like that will keep certain things to a minimum. Because I'm telling you, that's one thing that can get annoying like I said, personally for me. Doing custom art can be a very, very fun thing because people will give you ideas to draw things that you probably wouldn't have would have thought of. But like I said before, now I just stick to cartoons, anime, video game type characters. Can I draw realism, draw your family members and all that? Of course I can. Do I want to? No. I rather draw cartoons, anime, and video game characters. So that's why I let people know off the rip. You know, a lot of people ask, hey, can you do custom work? Yeah, I really can. But if I do, this is what it's going to be. You know, I just don't divvy away from that because it's taking me out of not just my comfort zone, but it's taking me out of my fun zone. It's not fun for me anymore. And my artwork is the one thing that I still can find true peace, happiness, relaxation, and accomplishment in. And for, for me to do something to take me away from that is like, no, the money's not worth it. It's just not. So you just have to find your balance. Every artist is definitely going to be different. Some people, hey, they specialize in, doing custom work and doing custom CD covers and mixtapes and all that type of cool stuff. Hey, go ahead with it. Hey, 100%. You want to do pictures for weddings and all that stuff? Go for it. I'm just speaking for me personally and what I'm trying to accomplish and the type of wealth that I'm trying to amass. I'm just looking at it from that perspective. So you guys can tell me what you think in the comments. I would really, really be happy to hear what you got to say. But thank you for watching this video. And what you're seeing now, what me drawing is actually a logo I did for somebody. Somebody wanted this picture and I did it. But like I said, this is just not something I would normally draw. But this is something that they wanted and I did it, So you guys tell me what you think in the comments, man. When it comes to being an artist, doing custom work or whatever like that. And I will talk to you guys later. Also, this is inyourfaceart.com. If you want to check out some of my other artwork, like my t-shirts, posters, canvases, hoodies, leggings, all that cool stuff, man, please hit the link in the description, man, and we will hook you up, man. You already know what it is. We make art, we sell art. In your face. Peace.